Well, hello, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope you guys are having a great day. I'm actually excited. Got up early this morning because Denver has already hired a coach. So we had that breaking news, and I've decided to go ahead and get out here in the workshop early. I'm doing some really cool stuff. Um, and I'm actually, let me get to this first. Let me take care of this. What is probably not a surprise, and maybe this should have happened last year, but Big Ben Roethlisberger has now retired. Okay, let me say it again. Big Ben Roethlisberger has retired from football, and that was a case where you looked at him and he looked like a punch drunk fighter. You know, sometimes um, it's hard to let go. It really is hard to let go and realize that you can't do what you used to do before. You know, in my mind, I still believe I got a couple of good plays in my body, but the reality is the mind might still be there, but the body damn sure isn't. And so that's where you need to get out before you get hurt. Big Ben had contemplated maybe playing for another team, but I'm not sure that another team would have picked him up. You know, you looked at a couple of quarterbacks out there. You look at Alex Smith. Alex Smith, unfortunately, was cheated because of the injury of valuable years and didn't want to retire, but you got to at some point. People think that I was a hater of Tony Romo's because I said I was happy that he retired, and it wasn't that I was trying to get rid of him and replace him. The reality is football is a dangerous sport. You can only play for so long, and your body just can't take it anymore. And so at some point you have to say, okay, maybe I didn't accomplish all the things that I wanted to accomplish, but I got to get out because I've got my kids that I have to think about. I have my wife and my future, because you look at some of these players that our bodies are truly screwed up, that they're never the same once they've been through football. And if you play every year, that pounding just goes worse and worse and worse on your body, that you just get in worse and worse shape. So Big Ben, who never took care of himself to begin with, he was not one of those guys that said, you know, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to eat avocado ice cream like Tom Brady. His body is in even worse shape than some of the other players that you look at out there. So for Big Ben, it was definitely time, and it's time for the Steelers to start looking in a different direction. The question will be is he the only one that you look at and say will be retired? You have to think about Tom Brady. You have to think about Tom Brady and what he said. Tom Brady listening and talking after the end of the season, it wasn't about the team losing and having to start all over with that. It was more of my wife and my kids. You know, Daddy, how come you're doing this to yourself? And seeing that kind of abuse that's happening and realizing I got all these rings. What is there left for me to accomplish? And it may be that Tom Brady is one to go. And then you also look at Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, although I think new life is going to be bred into Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers is another one who's saying he's taking some time to contemplate life and his future and yada, yada, yada. And him being the pain in the rear end that he is. I think what that really says is I'm going to weigh my options and see if I can get to a better situation, and it's not here in Green Bay. I think he needs a change of scenery. After failing 3 times in the last 3 years, being the number 1 seed, having 13-3 records, and not getting to the Super Bowl, I think he's going to figure that it's time for me to go elsewhere. So that's 2 quarterbacks that you have to look at on top of Big Ben. What may be crazy is the NFC may be a desert for quarterbacks. Because if Tom Brady, hypothetically, just think about this. Now, again, Big Ben, of course, was AFC. There's tons of great quarterbacks in the AFC, great young guns. But what you're maybe looking at, because of the offensive coordinator from Green Bay being hired in Denver, the main reason I believe that happened is because they figure, hey, you want me? You want Aaron Rodgers? I can work with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, I can deliver. And so if Aaron Rodgers goes someplace, you got to bet that the odds are he's going to Denver, which means that's another quarterback from the NFC that you're losing. If Tom Brady, of course, goes, again, that's another one of the NFC great quarterbacks that are going. And then, of course, there's the wild card of Russell Wilson, who may want to go someplace else and start over as well. So all of a sudden, you have a whole lot of upheaval in the quarterback situations here. And if you are wanting to coach, for example, let's say you want to coach, you may want to look at that Minnesota job and say, Aaron Rodgers may be leaving the building. There aren't any great quarterbacks in the NFC North. And that Chicago Bear job looks a lot better because you don't have to face Aaron Rodgers. Possibly. So, let me say, I'm not a Steeler fan. My buddy Richard, huge Steeler fan. I'm going to call him and check and see how he's doing. He knows that basically their team is now truly starting all over. Get his thoughts on, is Dwayne Haskins the guy? Is Dwayne Haskins the guy to take over, or will they be looking in the draft for somebody? I don't know, but hang on for a second here. I'm doing something really cool here. I got a picture of my parents in high school together in front of a bus, and I'm going to try and do this and give it to them as a surprise. But I'm going to check with Richard and see how he's doing with this and see his thoughts on what they do going forward. I'm Mark Holmes, and well, hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope this comes out good because, let me show you something else that we're doing here. Boom. Check these out. Walk with me. Look at this. I'm getting ready to epoxy these in place. Check them out. I'm going to fill these in with epoxy resin. And what you can do with this is like the serving side. So you have a party, you have the nice design laid into it. The other side is done with just the butcher block oil. So that way you do all your major chopping and stuff on there. I think these are going to be beautiful, and I can't wait to get the epoxy in here and dry on it and see how it looks. But what I'm carving over there, check this out. Don't tell my parents, but I'm carving this picture. Look, this picture right here. My mom and dad about 66 years ago. So yeah, that's how we roll up here. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.